I'm Danica Tormohlen, VP of Content for Trade Show News Network by Informa, and we are at Cvent Connect in Nashville, and I'm in the podcast studio at Music City Center, and I'm joined by Larry Grossenbacher. Hi, Larry.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So when did you arrive?
I arrived yesterday,
Okay.
and I specifically went one day early so I could go to the Club Ichi party that was Sunday night at an Airbnb, and it was a very nice event.
Tell me all about it. I've been wanting to go to one of those that Liz has hosted before at SEMA, I know. I just haven't been able to work it out yet. I'm going to, but tell me about it.
I also had missed out on the last opportunity at IMEX when they did something like that. And I thought, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. And I'm happy I went. I met a lot of really great people. The house was packed. And it's not the people who I would normally meet at the circles that I travel in. So I'd love to just expand the network a little bit, even if it's outside of who I might normally engage with professionally. It's really just nice to connect with people in different ways.
So what was the activity? What was going on at the house? Music, food, drinks, what?
Yeah, there were two sponsors. One sponsored the house and one sponsored some food and beverage. And everybody was just having a great time. There were some fun activities, and it actually doubled as an impromptu, well, maybe not impromptu, baby shower. And everybody had a blast.
Very nice. How far away was the house from here?
Maybe a 10-minute cab
Okay.
ride, not too far.
Great.
Yeah.
So when you say people that were different outside of the circles that you normally, maybe come, for instance, like to this event or to like CISO, ECF, where I saw you at, explain that, like more meeting, brand
Yeah.
manager type people?
Yeah, a lot of producers, a lot of independent people, and a lot of people that don't necessarily touch the trade show space, right? Our business to business event space is such a huge landscape that when you say I'm an event, it could really mean anything. And that is one of the challenges I think that we have when people say, "Oh, you can you get me a balloon arch?" And the answer is not really. So a lot of the people there, I met some really cool technology people, some producers, some AV people. It was just a nice mix of people that I wouldn't normally get to engage with on, like we said, some of the events that you mentioned. And so it's just nice to be able to touch base with some of those people and just see different parts of the event industry, even if I won't touch them professionally, just to engage with those people.
Yeah. You've been to Cvent Connect before? Was last year your first year?
This will be my fourth year.
Fourth year.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you hope to accomplish here. I'm curious.
Cvent Connect is a very great user conference, in my opinion. I think they set the bar pretty high for conferences of this type. And for me personally, as president of a general services contractor, I kind of live in that trade show lane. The people that come here, there's so many that are outside of that lane. And the vast majority are outside that lane. Cvent supports so many different companies in the event industry in so many different ways. So typically, I won't be able to support a meeting or a conference. And so a lot of those people I don't engage with professionally. The audience I'd like to talk to is here. They're harder to find. I consider this event adjacent to business because it's not like every single person can be a customer, where some events are like that. And as such, like I said, the audience is here. You just have to work a little harder to find them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as my fourth year, I obviously have seen value. And
Uh-huh.
so I come back, I've been to it in Vegas and in San Antonio, and now here we are in Nashville.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is my year too. So I feel still like a newbie.
Everybody knows you.
Yeah.
You could tell them it's your 10th time and they'll believe you.
So I want to know, okay, let's step back just a little bit. So your role as president at CSI. So, and your general services contractor. I mean, I know what you do, but maybe not everybody who is listening or watching does. So tell us a little bit about, the work that you do, and then maybe even name drop some of the events that you work on.
Okay, I think we'll back up a little bit. CSI Worldwide has been around for over 50 years. And the first 50 or so, they built their business by being a reputable I&D company, which stands for installation and dismantle. And in an oversimplified version, an I&D company provides labor to build usually some of the larger booths on the trade show floor. My history was I was back at Metro Expo, which was founded in 2001 and sold in 2016. My entire team went over to the acquisition side, and I spent several years there. And around COVID, it seemed like there was an opportunity because the playing field leveled a little bit. So my partner, Bobby Lee, connected with CSI, and we decided to open the general services division, having successfully run a smaller business and also having worked with the largest one in the space. We thought that we could take lessons learned and try it again. And surely we're starting that process inside of an established company was a bit of a head start, and very nice to be able to have that. And as a surprise, of I didn't anticipate this going into it, but because we have such a strong installation and dismantle team in all major markets, we're actually able to lean on that labor and leverage it in a way that allows us to just produce things smoother and more effectively. And instead of just having general labor, I have people that can lead shows, that can be customer facing, that understand certain skill sets beyond just your average skill set.
So what year was that? You said you saw the opportunity around COVID. So how long has this general services division been in place?
2021 is when we launched. I just had my 5-year anniversary, and next month will be the 5th-year anniversary of the first trade show that we produced in New York City.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was that show?
That show was in the pharma space. Um, it was a series of letters that don't make a word that revolve around a drug that I can't remember specifically.
Good enough. Pharma event
Yes.
works for me. Because there are so many acronyms in this industry.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
crazy. Okay, so what are some of the shows that you've worked on this year that people, might be familiar with?
All of the verticals that exist in business are all served by the horizontal that is the trade show industry. We touch a lot of those markets, whether it's fintech, textiles, franchise. It really does run the gamut of the customer type that we have. And we service them up and down the Eastern Seaboard, Las Vegas, Chicago, Reno, LA, Texas. We are, CSI Worldwide. The GC side is nationwide. So we're working on living up to the name Worldwide today. But we do serve all major markets, and we have shows. We're always running around doing shows everywhere.
Excellent. So do you feel like, when you look back from 5 years ago when you started, where you were when you launched this division, I mean, are you happy where you're sitting right now and, or where you thought you would be, or is it exceeded all expectations?
It has exceeded expectations. We are ahead of plan, which is great. We have built a very, very strong team. We are nimble. We're still growing. So, whatever growing pains we might experience, I think they say growing pains are probably the best pains to have. And we have those, and we really do work in partnership with our customers. There are some things that we don't do because we're not a humongous ship in the ocean. We're a little bit more like a speedboat. We can't carry the cargo that a humongous ship can, but we know everyone's name that's on the boat, and we think we're a little more fun.
So are you what like let's look ahead to 5 years from now.
Yeah.
What would be the ideal situation in your mind?
Oh, that's a really good question. Can I get my 5-year plan real quick from my
Yeah,
OneDrive?
exactly. Sorry.
It's quite all right. We are really trying to work with customers so that they do understand that our footprint does exist a lot more than it does in the New York market than people think. Historically, most of my team has done a lot of work. And when we were acquired from our old organization, we actually had more shows annually in the Javits Center than the company who acquired us. We're not at that level by any means today. However, there is an understanding. People attach some of the team members that we reassembled from our old company with being in New York. And so I'm out there on the circuit and I see you a lot, hoping to educate people that that is not just who we are. And even coming to an event like Cvent, where I don't see people who I do on the normal circuit, is a great opportunity to meet new people, even if it's hard to find them that are in the space that I'm in, to introduce them to CSI Worldwide, because maybe they never heard of us and they aren't on the circuit enough to even know who my partners, or any of the team members are. And so it's an opportunity for us to increase that exposure.
Yeah, building your brand and awareness of your company. And then also, it makes me think of, you know, most people would be thrilled to like be the one of the top contractors. And I would say from an event organizer perspective, if you can produce an event in Javits, you can kind of produce an event anywhere.
Javits is a great place to produce an event. And I think all cities have their own unique, special things that being local to that market allows you to understand and navigate that space well. Sometimes we'll go to a building and go, "Oh, here's a curveball that we didn't anticipate." And that's a learning. That's okay. It's an opportunity to win in a different way. But yes, I think working in the Javits, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. They say that about New York, right? So I don't
Exactly.
know if that's true, but so far so good.
So, okay, I'm gonna switch gears for a second here. I recently saw you at the exhibition, Service Contractors Association, their summer education conference, all C-level execs on the general service contractor side, a variety of different contractors from all over the country, and you're a board member. So talk a little bit about that and tell us a little bit about your role with ESCA.
Wow, ESCA, the Summer Educational Conference, was at a magical place up in Banff. It was really a bucket list destination, and we were lucky to have it in that venue. Under Julie's leadership, since she's taken over the past couple years, ESCA has really uh, shifted to become ESCA 3.0. My current role is I'm treasurer and secretary. So I'm on the executive committee, and I am slated to be the president in 2029. I love being part of ESCA. It is a great association where most of my time I am at conferences where show organizers are together and sharing information about best practices. And what I love about that environment is they are not competitors typically, and so they can share pretty much everything. At ESCA, it's not that open because we are competitors.
Yeah.
It is, however, I would argue it's the one place and the one time professionally in a calendar year that I can let my hair down. I'm amongst peers. I'm not trying to sell to anyone. I'm not trying to engage in relationships in that capacity, but I am engaging in relationships that are as of as much value with other contractors, because a lot of us work together in a network which allows us all to have a larger footprint. By working together, it also allows the individual to continue to own the relationship with that customer instead of saying, "No, I can't service you in New York, cold call CSI." Those contractors will often call us in New York because everyone thinks we're only in New York, which we're not. And so, yeah, being part of ESCA is great. I love what is said where at ESCA we try and solve the problems that none of us can solve ourselves.
That's so true on the contracting side, and it's a great meeting. I've really seen it flourish under Julie's leadership, and I was so happy to be a part of it. And you are among peers there in terms of, it is all people who you might have, partnerships with,
Mhm.
and or this industry is small. You may end up working for one of them event at
That
at some
has
point
happened once or twice.
or hire somebody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Great
that.
friendships, just like everyone in the event industry says. A lot of people that are in those rooms are people I consider very close friends and have been for 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. Okay. So final question. I'm thinking about, since you have been here for 4 years, any tips for, first time attendees or suppliers that are here for their first time? What do you got? What should we do? No, etc.
For me, a very important part is the pre-work. So we're here, we're past that stage. However, leading up to Cvent, the most important part for me is to continually look through that list and try and find the right people to have conversations with, reach out, try and set meetings,
Mm.
things of that nature. Of course, the innovation pavilion is great. Cvent seems to just constantly be buying someone new. And so there's always something new and fresh that they're integrating into their ecosystem on that show floor. The trade show piece is nice. It leans a little more to the people who I might normally see several times throughout the year, perhaps in a different perspective. So one supplier that has a trade show side and a special event side, I'll see their trade show side often. Here, I'll see their special event side. So it does allow me just to widen that net in the relationships with a variety of different suppliers or venues or cities. Tips in terms of being here, I think every trade show tip is always wear comfortable shoes. I think I had a hard time. I am happy that I left 15 minutes early to try and meet you because I couldn't find level 3M for the life of me.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe I'm not the best to give directional advice. No, but there is lots of great signage.
Yeah.
Definitely do the tech tour. That is a tip. The
Okay.
tech tour is important. If you're here as a user, you are using their tech.
Yeah.
You may only be using one piece and not realize that they have these 18 other things that maybe you won't use, but being aware of them allows you to, when the opportunity comes up, go, hey, you know what? I saw something at Cvent Connect. Maybe that RFID thing would work great on this event that we're looking to build. So the tech tour is definitely a must do, as are, in my opinion, the social events after are always top notch. And I'm looking forward to this year's.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I did not do a tech tour this year. I signed up for one for this year, and so I'm going to do one tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I love those behind the scenes tours. I'm also doing one like behind the main stage, and then their stream stage, and even the convention center itself. So I love it when organizers offer, different types of education, right? It's not just a speaker talking to you, it could be walking around with your peers, learning about new technology, talking to, your peers about that technology
Yes,
and et cetera. So you can, so I'm looking forward to that for
it's a great
sure.
opportunity just to
Yeah.
see what is in the landscape because there may be something that exists that you didn't even know existed. And if you can think of a way to apply it and make your event even better, it's a win-win.
And I love your advice about on the front end too, like going through the attendee list and really trying to sift through that and set up meetings before because that's so critical. And it's I know on the exhibitor and on the seller supplier side, sometimes that doesn't always happen. So that's great advice for anybody who is particularly new to exhibiting for the first time. Representing your company, being at an event. A lot of people don't realize that all you gotta do is ask
Mhm.
sometimes, like,
And what's the worst that can happen?
yeah,
They say no.
yeah,
No, thank you. I can live with that.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's critical. That pre-work is definitely critical. And every year I look at the list because this is my fourth year. I'm always happy to find someone that I've connected with. And I'm like, oh, hey, are you going back again this year? And sometimes it's a yes, and sometimes it's a no. And so it's nice to know that over this amount of time, we've had opportunities come through the Cvent channels, and I'm seeing relationships that have developed through this as well that wouldn't have through the other channels. So it's very nice.
That's great. Okay, well, this is day 1, and we're ready to go to the first evening event. We have a kickoff reception in the Innovation Pavilion from 4:30 to 6:30. So let's get out there.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Can we high five?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.